Hey everybody, welcome to Whiskey Whistle. I'm the host of the show, Mark, and you're watching Whiskey Review number 193. Caol Ila, yes, but not this one. This one right here. This is a special bottling from AD Rattray. It's 18 years old. It was bottled in 2012. Cask number 11143, I believe, and a sherry butt bottled at 55.7%. And this was a special bottling, an exclusive for Wine and Beyond, who I guess it was the half cask or so, and then someone else took the other half cask. So interesting. Half or whatever, however much. And this one comes from a very special person, that's Val Bradshaw. Miss Bradshaw, there it is. Thank you so much for that. And just a gorgeous color on this one. All natural color, unchill filtered, cask strength, and we're looking at it's beyond copper. We're into the darker woods, like a teak wood. I wouldn't want to quite say mahogany, not quite there, but I'll leave it at teak, and maybe like a darkly polished teak. My parents are big into teak furniture, this is why I'm saying so. Anyway, gorgeous color, and it's been sitting out now for about half an hour, so it's got a lot of time to breathe, which is important for older whiskeys. So now we're looking at roughly about 15 milliliters there, I would say. Very generous of her to send me that one. Definitely not something that that anybody should poo-poo getting a sample, let alone something 18 years old, something cask strength, and something that ticks all the boxes like this one does. So anyway, we're going to talk about the nose. We'll talk about the taste. We will talk about the finish, the aftertaste, and then we'll give it a Whiskey Whistle whiskey score, and then we'll talk a little bit more about this and that and the other, and we're going to compare it to the 12-year-old Caol Ila, which might be a little futile given that the 12-year-old Caol Ila, which is, oh goodness, no, it's not that one. Yes, that's the one. Oh yes, that's the 12-year-old. So we'll compare it to the 12-year-old, which again might be futile because this one is largely only bourbon, I think. There might be a little bit of other, but not really appreciably so, with one that is from a sherry butt. Okay, so it could be a bit of a stretch, but we'll do it anyway because what else can I do? That's all I can do for you. All right, so let's get on to the nose now. Here we go. Now, really, really, really interesting nose. This smells like it's from a different era. Now, having been bottled in 2012, it's not. 2012 minus 18, so I'm going to carry the one. Just kidding. So we're looking at roughly 1996. Is that right? Oh man, Mark, come on. 1994. Yes, 1994 as the distillation date, and then 2012 for the bottling. That's 6 and 2, 18. Yes. Okay. Anyway, so 1994. Definitely not call it a silver age single malt. All right. So this is definitely present age, but I'm not sure. There's something different here. That could be from the sherry butt itself, or it could be just that might have been sort of the end of that silver age of distillation when a lot of things were done more by hand than machine, and the outcome, the desired flavor, was different than it is now. Yeah, I think the desired flavor, the flavors that the master blenders are trying to create for the market are much different than they were. They're a lot sweeter. Anyway, now this is sweet, but I'm getting this, again, this dusty old bookshelf sort of a scent. And the peat is, well, it's a lot more medicinal than the 12-year-old. That could be because it's cask strength. Yes, really interesting. Leathery, old book. And yet, yes, there's a lot of sherry here as well. But the sherry here, again, seems to me that the sherry butt aged sherry for a lot longer than currently the current supply of sherry casks that are coming to Scotland, it would seem. So not so much raisins, but more, again, more like a raisin, I want to use the word liquor, not as meaning containing alcohol, but you reduce, simmer some raisins in water, reduce that down to a syrup, and this is kind of what I'm getting here. And cherry pits, the pits of cherries. What else? Again, something like a eucalyptus. Not just mint. Or a tea tree oil. Interesting. It's really just opening up my nasal passages here. Really, really lovely. My first AD Rattray, so that's great. Very well known, very famous, very renowned independent bottler. All right, on to the palate. Cheers, everyone. Thank you again, Miss Bradshaw. Starts out as a smooth operator, but then the peat kicks in, and it really kicks in here. I've never tried this before. Cigar ash, spent cigar. You put it out, and maybe you want to keep it because you haven't quite smoked it all, so you put it in a bag, or put it in your bag. Make sure that it's out so it doesn't set your bag on fire. And then you take it out the next day. It smells a little different, smells a little off. Still smokable, but anyway, so that spent cigar. Still very lemony. So that's a really common element with the original. But yes, the raisins and dried plums, aka prunes. Bit of Vina Tarta. Nice. And yes, this tobacco ash, the cigar ash, maybe a bit of pipe. Leather in the finish here. Little bit of that freshly laid, tarred, sort of, not quite asphalt, but that stone and sand, pressed stone and sand with oil. That kind of an old road that seemed to have been in use in Canada in the up until about the mid 80s in very rural areas. Probably people still do that privately for their own driveway if they've got a long way to go and they don't have the funds for cement or asphalt. Yeah, really really reminds me of my my grandmother, my maternal grandmother's, her house, which was a trailer. She owned it, and it was outside of Winnipeg, and it had it's a private complex. So it had a private road, which was this oil and tar, not really tar, oil and rock sort of a road. Had a distinct smell, especially after they sprayed it with the oil and whatever they put on there to kind of keep it from getting dusty and whatnot. Really, really good memory. Well, reminds me of their neighbors. Wonder whatever happened to Philip. He would be about... Oh, how old would he be? He would be 38, 39 by now. Philip, if you're watching, cheers. I forget your... I forget your younger sister's name. Big and bold. You've got the best of both worlds here. You've got the sherry influence, dried fruits and tobacco. Then you've got the peat from Caol Ila, which again, as a moderate peat, seems to be a really, really good match for sherry. Lovely. Okay, well, boy, that's really... I've got to leave a little bit here. I'm down to about, less than 10 milliliters left now. Let's add a bit of water. I don't want to overwater it, so we're going to go like that. We'll see what happens. I'm going to stir gently this time. I don't want to disturb anything here. Just a dash more. There we go. Hope you didn't hear that. Oh, now the sherry really sings here with water. Oh, yes. Oh, my. Oh, so candied. Wine gums. And the cherry, yes, the cherry Tootsie Roll pop. Oh, nice. That's really great. Even with the Tootsie Roll center, after you've maybe nearly gotten down to the end, and you just get a little bit of that brown Tootsie Roll coming through the candy. Gorgeous. Oh, this is nice. Yep, and the tobacco is really coming through here now in the nose. And again, more like a flavored pipe tobacco. One I just had actually, which is actually kind of a bit of a plum essence added to it. Now the peat has really, where is it gone? Someone might smell this and think it were like a Glen Farkless. Honestly, the peat has really gone somewhere here, which, you know, hey, no problem. It's probably still there. It's just that my nose is really getting used to the smell of peat now. This is a bit of coffee. All right. Yeah, see, there it is. The peat's there. But the sherry is really coming to the foreground here. All right, on to the palate with water. 80 Rattray, Caol Ila, 18-year-old. 2012 cask number, what number did I say that was? Cask number 11143. All right. And thanks again to Val Bradshaw. yet much more ashy and dry. A lot less sweetness with water. A little bit more of the apples and the lemon are there in the palate, also in the finish. And that little hint of mintiness there. Oh, that's really, really sweet. Sweet being meaning awesome. Alright, so we'll get on to the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey score, but first we'll have a word from the YouTube sponsors right here. Welcome back. Alright, so the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey score for Caol Ila 18-year-old from 80 Rattray, 55.7% ABV, unchill filtered, no added color. That is going to be 91 out of 100. Oh yes, 91 out of 100. That's the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey score for Caol Ila 18, 80 Rattray, 55.7% cask 11143. All right. Okay, well, I really want to compare that with the 12-year-old. So, much more lemon and apple on that 12. You can really smell the youth. And I don't think there's any sherry content. There could be some just generic, we'll call it traditional Scotch whiskey cask, which may contain staves that were from a sherry cask or butt, but they would be quite old and then stripped and recharred. But over here, yeah, you get the raisins and the prunes, I should say, and the tobacco, and the spent cigar. Much fresher, much more generic sweetness. Not as much medicinal kind of peat, just a nice smoky, generic smoky flavor, wood smoke, bark smoke. And over here you get that ashiness. Well, with all that time it's been sitting there with water, yeah, a tiny little bit of ash now is coming through here. A sweet ash. All right, and over here, my last taste. Oh my goodness, that was just wonderful. I really noticed the mintiness of this. Cool, very cool. Okay, so 91 out of 100 for the 80 Rattray 18, and that was 87 for the 12. Both excellent value for money, and probably, I think that was probably a better value, especially in 2012 when that was made available. All right. Well, that's it for me. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to WhiskyWhistle. You can do that right here. And if you're still watching now, then why not follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, whichever you use. If you use them all, follow me on all of them. Send me a message. Tell me what you think, and get involved, especially on the Facebook page for WhiskyWhistle. Okay? Thanks everyone. Stay tuned for the next Islay single malt Scotch whiskey. That's right. It's right here. It's already ready and waiting. Ready and waiting for you. Okay. Take care now. Goodbye.